Alrighty, so we got our first interview here. Go ahead and state your name.
I'm Jack Radcliffe.
All right, Mr. Radcliffe. So we're gonna get you going with a couple questions here. So first of all, how many events do you plan a year?
Events a year usually goes off of a semester basis, but usually probably around 15 events per semester, which would total out to be 30 events a year.
Awesome. So, do you use any resources to help you plan events? And if so, what are they?
Yes, we definitely do use resources. It's tough to do it just by yourself, one person, or one group of people. So the events we use is either internet through, finding websites and different ways of getting in contact with people that can book us for the vendors we need or for the artists we need or production company. And then we're also very close with a production company called Eclectic Arts, and they have a lot of artists that they're in contact with. They do a lot of booking across the nation of events with artists and with philanthropy, as well as stage and production and other things of that sort. So we're very close with them. We do a lot of business with them.
Awesome. So kind of tagging on to that, like what kind of options do you consider when you start planning these events? Do you have security? Do you what kind of options do you weigh? What do you need for these events to happen?
So to have our events happen here at Georgia Southern University through the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life, we are required to book and pay security by the name of Security Associates of Coastal Georgia. And we pay them every time they arrive. We have checklists for them to arrive on arrival and departure for what we, as a chapter and a group of guys, we particularly want, other than what they are required to do, which is a no glass rule on Southern Greek Housing's row, which is where our house is located. No alcohol above 15% and no kegs at all. So the security helps us a good bit with that. They also make sure, and they do their rounds to make sure no one's passed out drunk on the couch or driving drunk or anything of that sort. So they do a good job after checking wristbands and checking IDs and alcohol that people bring and giving them wristbands, making sure they're 21 and they're of legal age and no other problems would happen.
Awesome. So, obviously you mentioned alcohol. Do you think at Georgia Southern, is it a rule that you have to have a third-party vendor for alcohol sales, or how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, so if we have an event where we want to have liquor or any alcohol above 15%, we do require, Georgia Southern does require that we have a third-party vendor. So it means that we have to have either one of the bars down here or a store of some sort that wants to come, and we pay them a certain amount. Usually what they do is called a cash bar, so they'll give us a limit, usually $1,000 limit, to where every drink's $5, and you have to meet that $1,000 before the end of the night. And if you don't, then you just pay the rest of it. So say they make $750, then we just have to give them, we only have to give them $250 more, and it wouldn't be a problem.
So it sounds like a lot goes into planning this stuff, and it's a lot to figure out and communicate with people. So what do you use any services besides Eclectic to help plan these events, or do you have a team that does it, or how do you go about communicating and working through all this?
Yeah, so we have an executive team, and not only is there a social chair or multiple social chairs that are different every year on that executive team, but everybody in the chapter and on that team tries to help out as much as they can because they want to have a good party or a good social event or philanthropy event, whatever it may be. Everybody does their own part, but mainly it is the executive team and the social chair that handles all the contracts and the signatures and all the specific little details. We definitely use Eclectic, and then we also use different companies for formal events or planning it all, just to make on our end a little bit easier. It costs a little bit more money, but it makes it a lot less struggle and something to where we just, I don't know, it's definitely just less struggle.
I gotcha. So when it comes to these events, obviously you have to plan them. You have the executive team to plan them, and you'll have to communicate and work out that. But how do you go about like marketing these events? What kind of marketing technology do you use to actually promote this event so people know about it?
So my favorite, just because I'm old school, is word of mouth. I think anybody can talk up anything and, you know, make it to where everybody wants to go just from saying, you know, talking high up, because you're not going to tell me that what we're doing isn't good and it's not by the book and it's not right and not successful and beneficial to you and your life and people that want to come, whether it is a social event or something for philanthropy, raising money for a great cause. Also, because that's hard to do and not everybody is going to go out there, not everybody has the best social aspects of their own personality, but another way we do it is social media. Definitely post on our social media about what we're doing and get the word out that way, because so many people follow and a lot of people are usually on that app. We have an Instagram account, we have a website, we have a Facebook account, and then we also have, like, within the chapter, we have groups with our chapter and others so that we can let them know by that. Invite only group chats. We have an alumni advisory board that will send out messages via text message and email to all of our alumni that want to be contacted for this and could come down. So definitely with our AAB and word of mouth, social media, on our website, yeah, I think that's the way we do it for the most part.
Awesome.
Well, and physical. We can do what a very popular thing to do here is sheet signs. So you get a bed sheet, you make a little design on it, you paint it, and it looks good, and you can make it whatever you want. Obviously nothing that is against university guidelines or national guidelines, but anything that you want that is a good design and people will see it and want to look at it. And, you know, usually we put the date on there, so that's another good way, physical way to get the word out.
All right. So to kind of conclude this interview here, is there one thing you could change about the event planning process? And what would it be? Like, you know, make things easier? Is there anything that would make the process easier on you and your executive team when planning these events?
I would say to make everything easier would just be, you know, set a certain guideline on when you want to do this and how exactly it needs to be done from the previous times that it's happened, and just building on that every single time that you have an event, and, you know, having that one sheet, and, you know, this is what we did last time, you know, this is what went wrong, how can we improve and make this better, and just really following that game plan for every event that you host and plan, just making it to where you build up and up and up, and you can make it to where, you know, the next event you want to plan is all it is a couple of things, and not having to run around and, you know, have a lot of patience to where you don't know where everything is and what to do exactly. So definitely building on the previous events and making it better for every future event planned.
Do you think if there was, you know, a central thing where you planned your events, do you think, you know, it had all your information, your event in one place? Do you think that would be, you know, easier just so you can pull up a page or pull up something, and do you think it would make it a lot easier to have all the information in one place?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely, I definitely do. Because, I mean, it's harder when you don't have everything in one place, and you're, you know, especially time management is definitely such a massive part of it, because if you have everything in one place, you can sit down and get it done right then and there. But if you don't, then you know, it could take hours, it could take days, weeks, you know, it really doesn't, there's no time period. If you're unprepared, then it's going to take a lot longer than it would be if everything is in one place and everybody was working towards the same goal to start to finish in one time period, versus going around and, oh, I'll go get this and I'll come back, and then something else comes up, because a lot of other people have, you know, you don't know what other people are going through. Personal lives are definitely complicated, so definitely in one place, start to finish, with multiple people towards the same goal is what you want.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Radcliffe. I'm going to wrap this interview up.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.